We're here. Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to the Bitcoin Ben's Cryptocurrency Club live here in Dallas, Texas. So we are broadcasting live. This is the grand opening of the Dallas location. So we're glad to have you here. We're broadcasting on 8 different platforms, and I'm joined by Heidi Carlson.
Yes, Heidi Carlson. They call me my business card says executive team member, but I do have many roles
I
in the
imagine so.
organization. Yeah.
And here you're hearing, we have live music in the background. For the next 3 hours, we have a lot of people coming and going. You're going to hear a lot of information, but you're also going to hear a lot of interesting noises in the background because we have an event going on today. But Heidi, we want to know more about you and why you're here. So tell us about what's going on here.
Well, the whole story would probably take a couple hours, so
Of
I'll
course.
just I'll make it
The
really
30-minute
short.
version,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
I got into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in 2013. Kind of fell into it in a very serendipitous way when I was feeling down and out, and taught myself the technology, went through many trials and tribulations. But through that time, since I gained so much knowledge and learned how to do it in real time,
Yeah.
it brought me to a place where the universe just kind of came together.
Yeah.
And back in 2020, I moved to Florida because I fled New York City for the whole. I didn't want to be in lockdown in New York
Sure.
City. I think
Yep.
you guys can all understand
You were
that.
not alone. Yep.
Yeah, a couple years later, when I really needed to get out there and meet some people, I said, let me find some crypto people here. I'm all alone. And then just I think right at the time I was saying that, I did not know this, but Bitcoin Ben, who I had seen his videos in the past,
Sure.
back in 2017, 2018, he was building his first crypto club 8 minutes from my condo. And it was the most exciting thing. And I said, okay, wow, this is cool. So I became a member. And then everyone kind of realized, whoa, here's a female in crypto who's pretty knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And then I just ended up here, which is like the most exciting thing of the whole journey. It wasn't about the price of Bitcoin and going up, and it's that I'm here doing something I love in crypto full time, which I never dreamed that I would be doing back
Right.
at that time. So
And
it's a pretty cool ride.
and it's the community,
It's the
right? And
community.
so you find your people, and crypto has been growing for years. Now that, and I'm no expert on it, but I'm learning as fast as I can.
Yes, which you should.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
and that's why we encourage everybody to do so because
Hmm.
there's so much information out there, and that's part of what we're doing here at
Hmm.
each of these learning centers is to
Yes.
educate the public, educate businesses, and build people from the ground up. And I
And
know
we
you're influential there. Tell me about that.
Well, we want people to know too. It's really important, you guys. Some of us who have been in crypto for a long time, and $110,000 seems like such an like you feel like you're late, but you're not.
Yeah,
Everyone is still early. This
yeah,
is still the beginning. So there's plenty of time to learn and get involved. In 5 years from now, if you get involved now, you're not going to look back if Bitcoin's $1 million and say, oh,
right.
like people do with Apple stock. But I'm sorry, what was you
Well,
just asked me a
Well,
good
it's
question.
so much about the education, and it's
Hmm.
one of the things I like to say is the best time, this, to plant a tree was 20 years ago.
Of course.
But the second best time is right now, and the urgency. To your point is you're not missing out if you weren't doing it. You're missing out if you and this isn't. It's a growing thing. It's not. This isn't some pyramid scheme or whatnot. This is
Mm-mm.
currency. This is global, and it's important that you join now. And I know a lot of what you do
Hmm.
for the organization is education. I know
Yes.
that's your specialty. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So about, I guess almost a year ago, we started organizing if you're a club member, we do live Zoom link classes every Tuesday and
Yeah,
Thursday where you can actually participate in the chat, and we'll do a different topic. I will go into, for those of people who are seasoned, we'll go into the whole technology of altcoins and people that want to do some more obscure things. One of the things I'm really focusing on right now is how important it is to, at least in the ethos of Bitcoin as I see it, it's not about US dollar number go up. It is Bitcoin standard and how things and prices of a home, let's say 10 years ago or 5 years ago in Bitcoin, as opposed to now in Bitcoin, has massively gone down.
gotcha.
And to understand the value of what you're purchasing, we need you to understand why the fiat system
Yeah,
is the way it is. So it's kind of a process, but once you will understand the value of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies when you understand the devaluation of the fiat system. I think that's the most important.
And I'm going to talk about that real quick. Holden's give me a signal of like her microphone closer or further away. Holden.
Yeah, just a
Little bit closer.
Little,
Okay.
oh, that's better.
We want to
Okay.
hear you better.
Okay.
Awesome. Great. And as they do too. So
Yeah.
so let's talk about the fiat system. You know,
Mhm.
because when people hear that, some people think of a car that are way outside of this. Right?
Yeah, they do. They think of a little,
Yeah.
bug-looking car.
Right.
Yeah. So, once you grasp that the fiat system is really a counterfeiting system of money and that your time and savings are all being stolen from you like a forced tax. You think you're saving, you're working hard, right? Prices of goods go up and then dollar value, your purchasing power is going down. And that really doesn't make sense, especially since we've increased productivity so much since the start of the Federal
Right.
Reserve. And then you have to start to wonder, well, why is this happening, right? Because every single dollar that is spent by the US government is controlled and loaned out by a private corporation called the Federal Reserve. But the
Right.
name federal is very tricky because it's about as federal as Federal Express, right?
Right.
So once you realize this and you kind of go into that rabbit hole, and then you see, and that is kind of a top-down system which encourages on a consciousness level everybody to rob Peter to pay Paul, because you're
Yeah.
never going to come up with that last dollar to pay that interest. That's not been, it's not in the system,
Right.
right?
And the
It's
fiat,
just printed.
fiat is effectively the government's printed money. You know, it's the promise that this is worth something, this piece of paper.
Yes, like
Right.
my dollar bill when I give it to you, that's not actually hard money. That's a promissory note.
Mhm.
That means that if you take that to a bank or you take it somewhere as legal tender, that value is going to be honored as a dollar.
Right.
Now, unfortunately, as you can see from if you look at prices of housing from 50 years ago, it's not that the prices of real estate has your valuation, anything's really changed. It's just that your purchasing power of the dollar has gone down. So your time and savings, labor is being stolen from you essentially, because they can print an endless supply of money and keep diluting your value. So with Bitcoin, what's the most important thing that people have never seen before, ever, we have never had an asset that doubles as a commodity and a currency that you can transact with digitally that backs itself pretty much, because it's like a balloon. So the more fiat money that goes into the Bitcoin protocol, since there's a finite supply of Bitcoin, you can never print more than
Yeah.
21 million. And a lot of those have been lost, right? Because
Yes.
they can never be accessed
The
again.
landfill guy in England. I
Yeah,
know it's
exactly.
such a dreadful story for him.
So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
filling a hot air balloon with no leaks.
Yeah.
So the price and the value of Bitcoin in US dollars, which is how we look at it now, in the future, I think we'll be looking at it more in Bitcoin and Satoshi value, is increasing and increasing and increasing. So my favorite thing about it versus fiat, when you have a fiat system and you have the rich, you have we can see a clear class distinction now more than ever, right?
Absolutely.
Every time the rich get richer in fiat, the poor get poorer. So you have something that goes like this. Now, I've had a lot of people say, well, only the rich people can afford Bitcoin now. And but no, it doesn't matter. You buy the amount of Bitcoin you can buy, because Bitcoin goes like this. So whenever the rich people or that are putting wealthy people are putting money into Bitcoin, it brings the value of the smaller amount of Bitcoin that you have up.
Yeah.
So the truth and transparency and the code automatically brings everyone up. So
Right.
is everyone going to be equal and have the same amount of US dollars to put in? No, we can't solve that problem.
It doesn't exist.
No,
Yep.
it doesn't exist. But you can,
The solve doesn't exist.
right.
Yeah.
As we participate more in the Bitcoin protocol, which is created for your neighbor to be good to your neighbor and honor the rules. If you try to cheat the Bitcoin actual protocol as a miner, you just create an orphan block and you don't get rewarded. And then you can't pay your $40,000 utility bill because that would have been not confirmed by the blockchain.
Right.
And the cool thing about it is that ethos starts to bleed in to people's lives in other ways once they start seeing that. It's
Yeah.
such a cool process. Like they say, Bitcoin, you don't change Bitcoin, Bitcoin changes you. And
There's a terrific amount of financial literacy that comes along with that. I mean,
Mhm.
well, and that's one of the things I think we could agree. I think most people watching could agree is generally our system, if you will, it's just let's talk big,
Yeah.
fails us on especially financial literacy. I mean, all the other things aside, and where Bitcoin comes in is it shows you how we can educate on how it works,
Mhm.
but also how the entire economy works. And to your
Exactly.
point, there are people, and I know I would think this audience is a little more elevated in their education,
Mhm.
but generally there are people that, like you said, Federal Reserve, they're like, oh, that's the government. It is not. And so
It
that's
is
where
not the government.
the education point is so important. Yeah.
Yeah, their fiduciary responsibility is to their shareholders
Yeah.
and to make their shareholders money. And that's actually their legal responsibility, right? And so every time the US government takes money to, let's say in 2008, which was, a lot of people don't grasp this. If we have a real true capitalist free market, those bankers don't get bailed out. You had a failed business,
Yep.
you screwed up, you go under, that's it. We do a bailout. That's not true free market capitalism. And now think about this: the bailout is borrowed. Money is borrowed from the Federal Reserve at interest. They make money on their own bailout
Yeah.
for screwing everybody underneath them, right? And the biggest land grab in history because of all the foreclosures. So once you start to dive into these rabbit holes, the only thing that makes sense is Bitcoin. There's gold, of course, there's gold, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But gold is still not a finite supply, and we have a ton of gold, and they'll just mine more gold, so you will never get that same effect.
Right.
And how hard is it to transact in gold? You can't go to Steak and Shake and digitally transfer gold to buy a beef tallow fries and burger, right? So
Right. I personally accept gold. So if you want to hand me gold,
oh, okay.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
let me run out to the car.
Let me go grab a heavy sack full of gold.
Yeah, and also there's no truth and transparency. Like we don't know if there's gold in Fort Knox or not, right?
Absolutely.
With Bitcoin on the public blockchain, you can literally, you can't see names, but you can see every transaction that has ever been done since the first block.
Right.
And so I think we're going to see, now that we see institutions, we see governments doing strategic reserves and seeing the value, we are going to see a tremendous increase. There's so little Bitcoin available to buy on the open market now in comparison to
Yep.
a couple of years ago, or just a year ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair. So
Mhm.
best time to plant a tree, if you haven't already, is right now.
Yeah. And guys, listen to me, because I've been trying to tell my parents this for years. They just sold a house up in New York and they had, $500,000 in cash. And I tried so hard. Bitcoin had dipped down to 15,000
Oh
back in.
my.
And I
Yeah.
said, please just do me a favor and just take 30 grand and buy 2 Bitcoin. Like, it's 15. They didn't do it.
Yeah.
Right.
We all know what it's worth now. Yeah.
People pay me to tell them these
Right.
things. So,
Right.
yeah.
And that's where I want to get to for the cryptocurrency club, especially,
Mhm.
now there are, this is, which location is this in number? This is the
This is number 4. Okay, so
four. Yeah.
as far as being open, yes,
Yes.
because we had the original one in Sarasota, Florida. Then we had the one in Brentwood, Tennessee, right in Nashville,
Yep.
and then Leominster, Massachusetts. So this is technically number 4 here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And more are opening. So that's important.
Yes.
And your role here is, I believe, the leader of the education.
Yes.
And that's part of
Well,
what
my
yeah.
main role actually is now Ben and I, we have a lot of traveling to do
Oh,
and
sure.
going around to all locations.
Yep.
So I was kind of heading up the education and doing consulting and stuff like that. But now I'm kind of his executive assistant.
Well,
So
terrific.
we do that. That takes up a lot of time. But my favorite part is the education and just talking to people about crypto and, well,
Right.
Bitcoin and digital. I'm going to say digital assets
Yeah.
because Mm-hmm.
And so part of what I'm seeing, and right now around us in the other rooms across from the studio, there are people gathering and they're learning. And this part of what this is a place for businesses to do business,
Mm-hmm.
be involved in cryptocurrency, but also learn and educate. So
Yes.
from what I understand, talk to me about what you and Ben have talked about educating the public and making these centers a hub for that.
Well, there are so many plans and ideas that we have. Obviously, you can only execute, one little step at a time, or
course.
3.
Yeah.
But what I love about this location has it. When we first saw this spot, we were looking at a couple places that day, and then we drove up to this, and everything about it was absolutely perfect. And we have so many beautiful offices that if become a corporate member and you grab an office space, and then you have exposure to everything that's going on here.
Absolutely.
I think here at all of our locations are different, and we encourage all the owner operators to make them incorporate the culture of that area, because
Yeah.
what we're trying to do as we get into this massively rapidly building AI revolution, right? I think, and I think Ben thinks, and I want to talk for him, that face to face, human to human contact is going to be so important and so valuable. So to have a place where you can come, grab your coffee that's included, grab your soda that's included in your membership, have an event here, have an office here, and talk with like minded people. And you're just going to feel a lot less alone.
Yeah.
It's really hard. We get so many people that have been scammed online in crypto. They go on WhatsApp. And guys, don't let the greed get to you. Don't ever, ever, ever give money away to someone you've never met online. I can't tell you how sad it is. And so many people I've spoken to that don't understand it. So we have a lot of people like that come to us for help. And we can't, once you've sent your money in cryptocurrency, you can't get it back. So if it's happened to you, don't feel stupid. Just come and learn the right way to do it so you
Yeah.
can move forward. We provide, we deal with a lot of that as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's very important to me as well, because I'm the first corporate member of this location. We're located here in Plano. It's the Dallas location.
Mhm.
Super easy to get to.
Yeah.
So obviously we're studio podcasters, media creation, and my other company, Visual Learning Solutions. It's super important that education is first.
Yeah.
Like you said, education takes away the fear.
It will take away the fear. And if you are a member of the club, then you can come here. And an important thing with the technology in this space is it's not complicated, but you need to practice it. You just need to practice so you can sit down with people. You can practice little practice with $1. Just practice doing it so that you're not afraid to do it. Learn how to check your transactions on the blockchain, all that kind of stuff that people get into a cold sweat
Yeah.
when they send. We also have some other really cool stuff if you're a member, which is we offer we get people access to loans and they can purchase Bitcoin through us non-KYC, which is know your customer, or some people call it AML, anti-money laundering. So one of the beauties of Bitcoin is that it's a peer-to-peer outside of a centralized trusted system. You don't have to rely on the bank to give you permission to send your funds, and you don't have to rely that they're going to have your money should there be some kind of a bank run. You're holding it self custody, right? So if you go to Steak and Shake and you buy a burger and fries from them and you use your Bitcoin Lightning wallet, you are transferring money directly from there to Steak and Shake. It's peer to peer. No one can interrupt you and say no or decline, which can be scary in some way, but it's once you get used to it, it's not. That's the way it should be. It's like digital old school barter.
Well, it's empowering, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gives you more control of your own money,
Mm-hmm.
which is what we all want. It's basically where things started. I mean, you go back to the beginning of time, really. It's
Right.
like people were in control of their own assets, whether it be a sack of rocks.
Yeah, a
it's
block
like,
of salt,
yeah,
right? You're like,
but it
okay,
was
we got
yours.
salt, we
Yeah.
got tea,
Yeah.
whatever we got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's terrific.
Yeah.
And so, with this being the fourth location, we have another. What are the next ones opening for people who are not local to us but are looking forward to the opportunities in their
Yes.
space?
So we do have a location in St. Louis. We're just going through the process. In the city, they have a lot more strict regulations than some of the other places
Sure.
we dealt with as far as your building and the business planning and your hours. So that's been a little bit, dicey, but we're getting through that. We're hopefully going to have that one open maybe a month to 6 weeks, where if everything goes well.
Okay.
Then we have St. Louis, and here it's our grand opening, so
Yep.
that's good. Now we have something planned for another one in Florida, maybe near West Palm Beach area. I don't want to say too much because I don't have all the details.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned
Things
for
will
that.
develop. Yeah.
We're hoping it's going to be somewhere near the Mar-a-Lago area.
Okay.
And then we work with an amazing guy named Crypto Fitz, Jimmy Fitz, over in Palm Springs, and he is really he's just a force. Been on having spots on NBC. They're the local. He was at the Bitcoin conference, which we were just at.
Terrific.
And yeah, we're working with him, and maybe there'll be a feature in Palm Springs and Scottsdale, Arizona. So we're working on Scottsdale.
Oh, great location.
Yeah, so that'll probably be before Palm Springs.
Excellent.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you and Ben right now are just making those plans, making the connections.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you invite people to, like, how can they get involved with you and Ben? We have our learning centers, but we have online resources and whatnot. Let's talk a little bit about what's available to them.
Yeah. So if you're interested, well, if you just go to bitcoinben.io, that will take you to pretty much, you can find everything that you need to find. But we are doing something that is, I think, going to be known as commonplace. As so some of the use cases of crypto that people don't know, it's not just peer-to-peer money,
Yeah.
right? We can use tokenization and what we call NFTs, non-fungible tokens, for all kinds of things. You can use it to represent, we could have stocks on the blockchain. You can't trade your Apple stock if you don't get, Charles Schwab past a certain hour, right? But
Right.
we could make these markets tokenized. We can have everything digitized, real world assets, real estate. So what we're doing with our clubs is doing a tokenized decentralized ownership. So anyone can buy community shares for as little as $49.99 in any of our clubs that we're building. And then you will get an NFT on the Bitcoin blockchain called a rune with the name of what you're investing in. That token gets sent to your wallet that we help you set up. And now you have a tokenized share of one of our clubs. So, and as a smart contract, which can't be violated. And then you can, on your own, it doesn't matter. We don't need your name, your social security number. We don't need any of that. You purchase it, you have a token, and then you get rewarded in Bitcoin as the clubs, become profitable, and everybody shares in the benefits. And then you can trade them if you want to say, hey, I could use a little extra cash, and you have someone in the community or outside that wants to get involved. That's all on you. You
Yeah.
can you have full freedom to sell those and make whatever agreements you want. You don't have to do any paperwork with us. And I think that going forward, this is really how the people are going to take the power.
I think, and I
Hmm.
like how you compared it earlier, just the Bitcoin itself, how it's kind of just raises everybody up. All of the things you just mentioned do that. The
Hmm.
rising tide raises all ships. And
Yes.
that's what we're doing for all, even the small boats,
Yes.
as long as you put your boat in the water.
Right. Like when we give out a bunch of stimulus money and print a bunch of dollars, it might temporarily feel to people that don't have a lot of money that that's helpful. But then very shortly after that, like what you saw with all the prices of food and everything, well, how much did that $1,200 twice or your unemployment really help build your future, right? Because now it actually ends up being a detractor. So a great book that I absolutely love that I recommend everybody read. There's an author out there called Saifuddin Ammous. He wrote a book called The Bitcoin Standard, which is fantastic. But if you really, really want to grasp how the fiat system has affected our lives since, especially since 1913 and the implementation of the Fed, read the Fiat Standard. And that will help everyone understand it's not just about that currency and the coins and the dollars and but it's about the food, it's about the architecture. Everything that we've seen occur over the past 100 years or so is all in that book, and it's really helpful. And there's one other book by this guy Larry Lepard, he's wonderful in the Bitcoin community. He wrote something that's very simple for people to understand, and it's called The Big Print.
Big print.
The Big Print.
Make
Yeah.
notes, folks.
So I recommend those two books
That's
highly.
terrific. I know
Yeah.
right across the hall in this space, Heidi, they even have a library. And
Yes.
I'm seeing these titles, and I'm sure those books are in there.
Oh, yeah, they are in there.
Yeah.
And just a shout out to everybody here, JJ and Michael, the owner operators of the Texas Club, and our whole community that helped out here. It looks fantastic. We have everything we need for people to get started. Yeah, and I can't wait. My dream for this space is we have that really big room that we could do maybe crypto weekend seminars, workshops, where, we come for a weekend and we do crash courses and stuff like that. That would be fun.
Right. The amenities here are terrific, and we're going to be talking about those throughout the show as we interview more guests.
Hmm.
But for businesses who are here, there's so much to take advantage of here, so much wealth of knowledge. Obviously, the people, the community, you're going to be involved. But there are huge training rooms here, a lot of different offices. What we have right here is a full podcast studio for video and audio, web streaming, and there's just a lot here. But the emphasis is the community.
The
And the
community.
education you get by being a part of the community.
Yes, face to face, and you can feel comfortable coming in here, having one of the consultants help you
Yeah.
one on one and show you. And there's a responsibility because they're in a place, right? You see their face, you shake their hand. And I don't know if you're familiar with. Do you remember those experiments? Have you ever looked into the Stanley Milgram experiment where they were electrocuting, like they thought they were electrocuting people, and they've done tests where behind a wall, when you don't see someone's face, you're more likely to be able to do what the person's telling you to do, is telling you to maybe not do a not so nice thing to that person. And then they try to do it to them face to face.
How about that?
Yeah. It's so interesting. And that's why human to human contact with the AI revolution is going to become a like a regular, like a Picasso.
Like we're going to seek it out.
Yeah,
because
you're going to seek it out.
And we'll hopefully you'll seek us out. Terrible
Yes.
transition. I know when I try. But so what we're going to do next is we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then Heidi, I thank you so much for your time. Quick parting thoughts before we go to commercial, before we bring Ben on.
Quick parting thoughts. Well, I do want to encourage everybody to go to their local Steak and Shake and support their beef tallow. I'm huge into the saturated fat animal diet, and buy with your Bitcoin, because and with Bitcoin, guys, think of it this way. If you are buying small amounts of Bitcoin or large amounts, I know all these people in the community say never sell your Bitcoin, and then people get it and they literally hold on to it like it's their firstborn. And no. You can transact in your Bitcoin. Just take the cash that's in your Venmo or PayPal or Cash App, whatever it is. Say, and you were going to hand over $50 to your massage therapist or whatever it is. Try to transact in Bitcoin, and then immediately, either right before or right after that, just buy it right back quickly in cash. And now the more money you put into that Bitcoin protocol, if everyone is doing that, you don't lose your Bitcoin. So you're not selling it. You're just replacing it with the money that you would have used. Right. And now you're giving your neighbor the opportunity to increase the value of their assets.
That's wonderful.
And it's really fun, and it's a fun game.
Yeah.
Cool.
Might as well have fun while you're doing it.
Yeah.
We're living. So excellent. So we're going to go to break, but Heidi, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Excellent. And Ben's going to come join us for the next segment. So stick around. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Cool. Thanks.
Hey, Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club members, are you ready to take your crypto game to the next level? Well, buckle up, because we've got something huge for you. As a member of the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you're already part of the future of finance. But what if you could stack even more Bitcoin without waiting? That's right. We're talking about exclusive loans designed just for you. Through the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you can apply for a fast member-only loan. Use the cash to buy Bitcoin right now while the market's hot, and watch your stack grow as the revolution unfolds. It's simple. Call us, get approved, and turn that loan into Bitcoin. Pay it back on your terms while you HODL like a pro. Why wait for the moon when you can fuel the rocket yourself? This isn't just a loan, it's your ticket to owning more of the future. And because you're part of our tight-knit community, you get VIP access to rates and support outsiders can only dream of. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your phone and call or text 941-413-6920 to apply now and start stacking SATs today. The Bitcoin revolution waits for no one, especially not you. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where members don't just HODL, we build. See you on the blockchain.
Ever felt left out of the crypto craze? Not anymore. Welcome to Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where community meets opportunity. Our clubs are popping up nationwide, from Sarasota to Nashville, Boston to St. Louis. Join us and unlock a world of benefits. Access all clubs worldwide, earn through referrals, and dive into specialized crypto education. Need help buying crypto? We've got you covered, often with reduced fees. But wait, there's more. Enjoy perks like Bitcoin ATMs, silver purchases, and exclusive investment opportunities. Our state-of-the-art facilities offer podcast rooms, event spaces, and co-working areas. Stay informed with FGTV, our exclusive crypto news and education channel. Choose your membership, from day passes to individual or company plans. Individual members get access for themselves plus 2 guests, perfect for bringing friends or family. Companies can bring up to 15 employees or guests, fostering team growth and networking. Connect, learn, and grow with like-minded crypto enthusiasts. Ready to join the revolution? Visit BitcoinBenCryptoClub.com or call 562-526-0813 today. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, your gateway to crypto success.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled B-I-T-C-O-I-N, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around 94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
Hey, Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club members, are you ready to take your crypto game to the next level? Well, buckle up because we've got something huge for you. As a member of the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you're already part of the future of finance. But what if you could stack even more Bitcoin without waiting? That's right. We're talking about exclusive loans designed just for you. Through the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you can apply for a fast member-only loan. Use the cash to buy Bitcoin right now while the market's hot, and watch your stack grow as the revolution unfolds. It's simple. Call us, get approved, and turn that loan into Bitcoin. Pay it back on your terms while you HODL like a pro. Why wait for the moon when you can fuel the rocket yourself? This isn't just a loan, it's your ticket to owning more of the future. And because you're part of our tight-knit community, you get VIP access to rates and support outsiders can only dream of. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your phone and call or text 941-413-6920 to apply now and start stacking SATs today. The Bitcoin revolution waits for no one, especially not you. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where members don't just HODL, we build. See you on the blockchain.
Welcome back. We're here at Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club in the Dallas location. I'm here with the man himself. How you doing, Ben?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you?
Great, great. It's so good to see you here. Very excited about what you have going on. We have a bunch of people out there that are enjoying some music, enjoying some food. It's a big facility we have here, a lot of potential for businesses. Tell me, I want to talk about this specific place first, because a lot of people that are watching know your history, but we're going to go into that. Why'd you pick Dallas? Why'd you pick Plano for your next location?
Well, one reason is I mean, this is Texas.
Yeah.
I mean,
Big fan.
Big, huge Texas fan.
Yeah.
And it's really the culture.
Yeah.
It's very freedom oriented.
Yeah.
And a lot of shared values, and that was the initial reason why. But now that we're here, we have our grand opening and all of that. I'm actually meeting amazing people, and I can see why Texas is so attractive for everyone to move here, because Jesus, I mean, the people are just, I mean, they're good, hard-working, good Americans, and just really, good people. And also Dallas is, I mean, hell, it's Dallas,
Yeah.
I mean, Dallas
It's an
is
international city. you know.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's just, there's so many entrepreneurs in Texas. In fact, I think I read Texas has more entrepreneurs than any other state in uh in America.
Yeah, I believe that.
And I'm like, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Free to live and let live, and freedom, and hey, that's my money, leave me alone. And it's really the reason I wanted the club here is as we transition into this new global decentralized
Yeah.
economy, which is key, decentralized. Uh, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of local businesses, like yourself, are actually, they need help recognizing what's really coming.
Yeah.
And I have been very lucky on living in the crypto economy so long that it's really like second nature now. And I had so many friends who were so knowledgeable. And I had thought, oh my God, we have all of this knowledge, and we really need to share it. And initially I thought, well, I'll launch a website, and educate people. But then and this is kind of I went, and I hate banks, but I went to the bank, and I'm sitting there, and I'm seeing all of these older, like middle-aged people walking in, and they're getting advice from their banker, and I'm thinking, none of these people are online like I am. None, like I'll never reach that guy on YouTube, and that made me think we need branches.
Yeah.
We need physical brick and mortar places where people can walk into and go, look, I don't know jack crap about jack crap,
Yeah.
but I've heard that there's something to this. And so what I wanted to create was education centers all over America. And actually, we are launching a few clubs, one in Australia, one over in friggin' Dubai.
Yeah.
So this is a global currency. So there's no reason why our education centers and our actual businesses and our consulting uh, clubs are only for the U.S.
Right.
And but the response has been amazing, because everyone's heard of actual Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And when they're driving down the road and they see a sign, a new one, and it's, wait, does that say Bitcoin on it? And it's, wait, who is it? What is that? Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club Dallas?
Right. Right.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
You
You can drive. Yeah. There's a big parking lot. Just pull on in. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's and that way they can walk in and go, what is this place? And we can explain, hey, we do education, we do consulting, we do, this is like a consulting company mixed with a social club.
Yeah.
And that's how I view it. That's how I see it. And I there's no, you cannot leave out Dallas.
Right.
I mean, it's one of the largest GDP cities in the world.
Right.
So if you're wanting to reach people, well, I mean, Dallas, what's your population here? You know, a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know what it is right now, but I can have one of our guys look that up. But we're not small, and
Yeah.
you know, and when you add the surrounding area, I mean, DFW itself is just massive. You know, it's basically a third of Texas. if
You
look at
guys
it.
have 2 airports.
Yes, we do.
I mean, you
I'm looking at 1.3 million in Dallas alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
and that's from 2023, and I guarantee there has been a flood just from California.
Oh, sure.
You know,
Yeah. Well, I've seen the houses growing, and pastures are, you know, the cows are moving north, and the houses are popping up everywhere.
Yep.
And what I like about this, and I was speaking to Heidi in the previous segment, was the education is super important, and that's why the clubs exist for. You know, there are a number of reasons, and of course you crafted all of those yourself. But just across the hall here from the studio is a library.
Yep.
And you mentioned for people who are not digital natives, because their whole life they literally went from analog to just walking around. You know, my parents and the people that are older than us, a book is a great thing. And then we have a whole library here of all that. And Heidi even mentioned some of the important books that are available to us. And they're right there in this library available to you. You don't have to go to a bookstore to find them. They're here. You know, definitely buy one online. Get the books you need, get the education. But if you want to walk in, this is the place to do it.
Yeah, and that's that's here at our club is a very safe environment. You know, you walk in, no, trust me, no one's judging you on your lack of knowledge, because every single one of us was that guy or that woman at that point where you're like, Bitcoin, huh? What?
Yeah.
But as soon as you learn what it is and why it's important and what's really going on economically, globally right now, you look at it and you go, oh, that's a lifeboat. Got it. So America's basically the Titanic, and the Bitcoin's the lifeboat to get the hell out of Dodge before this thing's, you know, tits up and going down.
Right.
And it's very important as a person that I help other people. That is literally my guiding light.
That's wonderful.
And it, because I'm very successful, I've done very well for myself, but I'm not done.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure Jesus didn't put me on this planet to get wealthy and then sit on a boat somewhere. So I'm not going to waste my time or Jesus's time just sitting there doing nothing. So he actually put me here, and he said, go out and help people. So I'm just doing what the boss says.
Great. And that was from the beginning. That was your motivation when you opened your first. So let's talk about opening the first club and what it offered to what it's grown into.
Oh, absolutely. Our initial club was basically consulting, social club, a place where you could learn and hang out with other, you know, crypto people or other economic people, and also history buffs. I'm a huge history guy, and over the last 2 or 3 years, it's really all of these are growing into. We offer through our club, you can actually purchase Bitcoin no KYC, which means it's a private transaction. The government doesn't know nothing about it because we are a private membership organization.
Terrific.
And because I see it as the more products and services we can offer our members, the more the elites and the old system can't rob them anymore. Because once you live in the new system, the old system just looks completely useless.
Yeah.
Because when you hold $100 of actual Bitcoin, and then a year and a half or 2 years later, you have $180 or $200, you're like, wait, that doesn't look like my bank account.
Right.
And then you start to figure it out. You're like, wait. So we have inflation that's eating away our actual purchasing power. And that's tracked in US dollars. But if I take those US dollars and I sell them and I get Bitcoin, then the value is held and grows over time. So I'm not losing purchasing power, I'm gaining
Right.
purchasing power. And once that really sinks in, it changes your life. And once you're in for 1 year and you've held your original capital and you've seen its value go up, you're like, okay, why am I holding money in anything else except this?
Right.
Because it's a useless old system where we all just get poorer.
Yeah.
And in the new system, we all get richer because the system, the blockchain, the actual network is really economic energy.
That's a great way to put it.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So when I actually take $100 and I purchase Bitcoin, I am injecting my labor value, my labor energy into that network.
Yeah.
And right now we have millionaires and billionaires that are buying Bitcoin as fast as they can.
Yeah.
That's why we jumped from 30,000 to 100 and whatever our high was, like 114.
Yeah.
In a little over a year and a half.
That's crazy.
Because when you have billionaires,
They got it.
They figured it out.
Yeah.
Because if there's one thing a wealthy guy knows is money.
Yep.
and
and how to get more of it.
Yes.
That's the motivation. Yep.
Yeah, it's once you're in for 1 year, it's really like anything. Once you educate yourself on anything, really, whether you're actually learning how you work on cars, or a great example is you. I guarantee at one point in your life was the very first time you ever picked up a camera.
Oh, sure. Yep.
And you looked at it and go, oh, this
I can do something with this thing.
Yeah. Hey, I can make stuff.
There
with
you
this.
go. Yep. And make a living. Right. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, look at you now. You have an amazing setup. I don't even want to know how much those cameras cost.
Yeah, we're here from the podcast studio at the Dallas location I mentioned before. And Ben and I'm your first corporate member at this location for this reason.
Yes, that's right. Welcome.
Yeah,
welcome.
Thank you so much. And what we're doing here is we're setting up this wonderful studio because, to your point, is I'm using the tools that I know and the things I'm learning to better myself, and that's what we're doing here at this club. Is leveraging the tools, increasing the education. And so, let's talk about the things you offer here. I mean, so for our people who are here in our Dallas audience, it's ideally you're offering and growing the things you offer at each of your clubs as you grow.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about, I'm a customer, and tell me, I know there's some of this, but I'm benefiting y'all out there. And so you can benefit your friends. Tell me what you offer here at this location.
All right. Well, we have several offerings. If you're just a guy or a gal who's just wanting to learn and get some consulting, kind of put your toe in the water.
Yeah.
We offer classes. We offer events. We offer relationship building. Now, as an entrepreneur, we have offices you can rent here, very affordable.
Yes.
And And
I can speak to that. I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's very affordable.
And that actually comes with your internet. We have a kitchen right back here. I think we have a coffee maker and
Sure.
all that back there. And 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 what that offers the entrepreneur, number one, as a club member, we help you learn how to accept actual Bitcoin in your corporation,
Yeah.
and also hold your reserves in actual Bitcoin. So in a year, what you earned last year might have actually doubled.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, when I earned it, it was 100,000. Now I'm sitting on 200,000.
Right.
You know, that's an appreciating asset. And that is so fundamental for our entrepreneurs to understand, because as an entrepreneur, you're not only out there hustling up, you know, trying to get business, trying to form relationships. At the same time, you're in a struggle against inflation.
Yeah.
And so not only do you have to worry about your competition, you have to worry about the actual government devaluing the currency you're trying to earn.
Yeah. Which we
So-
have zero control or knowledge
Right.
of. It can happen at any time.
Absolutely. And and as an entrepreneur or even an individual, you can host an event here.
Yeah.
You can have, if you're a mom and a dad and you want to have your child's actual party here for their birthday, we can do that. That's and and to drop a little information is we are actually going to be partnering with Tesla,
Oh, how about that?
and we are going to offer our members the capability of investing in a Tesla taxi, and it's going to be decentralized.
How about that?
So you won't have to actually pay for the whole car. You and 10 other people will own that car, and it will run out of our club. So we'll have chargers, we'll have all of that here, and you'll own 1/10 of a Tesla taxi through our club, and every month you get paid out in Bitcoin.
How about that? Yeah, that's an interesting program. Heidi didn't even tease that, but
Well,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
that
That's why you tune in.
Yeah.
Because then you get the really interesting stuff directly from Ben. That's what
yeah, and probably come January or February next year, each one of our clubs will have a robot,
Yeah.
a true sweep the floor or what, just a
Whatever's
full,
needed. Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
and it will have. These things are amazing. I've seen one, and you'll actually be able to come in and interact with a real Tesla robot, and we will offer them for sale at our clubs.
And what do they do? I know nothing of this, Ben.
Oh,
This is news to me.
Whatever you can do, they can do.
So you can have conversations with them. You know, maybe they can help you move things around the house. Is that the capability?
Cook, they can clean.
How about that?
And these can actually drive your car. So if you can't afford a self-driving car, your robot can drive your car.
Right. So
It is fascinating, and that's why our clubs, it isn't just for actual Bitcoin. Oh, and another thing with the robots, people will actually be able to lease a robot from us and have it at their house.
how about that?
And just like the actual taxis, if if you invest with another group, you can own one robot, and literally,
Yes, like I get the robot on Tuesdays, everybody, or something like that. It's the community, the small community robot,
right,
with your members. Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
and our taxi service will drive the robot to your house.
Right.
And I know that sounds kind of out there and kind of, whoa, that's not coming for years, folks. That's January, February next year.
Yeah.
And that's another thing our club offers is we are introducing the world to AI and robotics.
Yeah.
Because like it or not, a lot of jobs are going away, but that shouldn't frighten people, because it's the equivalent of when we shifted into gasoline powered equipment on a farm.
Mm.
You had 150 people doing a job.
Yep.
That shrank to about 12. Well, that 150 people, they didn't just roll over and die. They learned how to work on the engines.
Yep.
They learned how to, wheels, I can change tires. I can, dude, everyone slowly adapted to the new technology. And because we're humans, we look at whatever and go, I can build a better one of those. And that's the entrepreneurial American spirit.
Yeah.
Is we look at everything and go, I can do better than that. And that's what pushes technology.
Yeah.
And so while everyone's so worried about like job loss and all that, I don't know, flip the script, guys. Look at it as opportunities.
Yep. You make your own fate there, especially like you mentioned with the tractor analogies. Like, someone has to manufacture the tires. Someone has to be present. Someone has to run the team. Someone has to be on the team. Someone's got to manufacture and produce the paint that
Yep.
paints that vehicle. I mean, the new thing, whatever the new thing is, creates an entire economy around it. And AI is a tool like any of these others. Like a tractor is a tool. AI is a tool. The Bitcoin itself, it's leverage, it's individuality, it's control of your own money, and it's obviously created, like you've created here in this space, it's created new opportunity.
Yep. And we're just getting going.
Yeah.
Because as I was explaining out there, look at it like this. All right. Look at these clubs as like Plymouth Rock. And when you're a member of these clubs, you're learning the new American economy.
Yeah.
The old kings and the royalty. That's why we left them.
Right.
Right. And now these clubs, as you hang out here or as you learn, a lot of people will recognize, you know what? I could implement this into my existing business. Or if you're an employee, you can go, you know what? I could bring this to my boss, and I think we could really do something with this technology. Because once you learn about blockchain and smart contracts and atomic swaps and all these other things that no one knows about,
Yeah.
Bitcoin is the new oil.
Yeah.
Because everything digitally is going to actually be built on top of it, using second layer and third layer and fourth layer. And what I mean when I say it is the new oil is oil out of the ground is just oil.
Right.
But then you refine it. So your refinery is your first layer.
Yeah.
Then it refines into whatever, gasoline, diesel, pure petroleum, asphalt, and then asphalt, you build roads.
Right.
And then roads increase efficiency of movement of transactions. That's how this is all actually going to build out.
I see.
Because what you need is you need a globally available commodity like oil. That's why there's oil in Texas, there's oil in Dubai, there's oil in Alaska, there's oil in friggin' Indonesia.
Wherever they can find it.
Right.
But it is global. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Bitcoin is everybody can mine it.
Mhm.
You can have a little miner in your house and you can mine Bitcoin.
Right.
And it's so everyone is actually injecting their own energy into this new decentralized global asset. And as the energy is pushed into it, it grows, which as we see, growth is price. And as the price grows, more and more people look at it and go, price go up. I like price go up.
Yes. Caveman brain like.
Yes. Yeah. And so they're like, all right, I'll buy $100, see what happens. It's $100. Then they see it go up. And then it hits 200. They're like, damn, if I would have bought 1,000.
Right.
And once you've actually gone through your first wave, you're hooked. You're like, oh my God, this is so stupid. Why have I not done this?
Yeah.
Because I had a friend in St. Louis when I initially got in. He was one of my only smart friends. I said, look, you're a relatively well-off guy. Just put like 10 grand in. And just, I will put it on a ledger and you throw it in your safe. Just leave it there. Okay. So he did it. About a month ago, him and I sat and talked, and he goes, so that 10 grand. And then I'm like, how much is it worth now? He goes, sitting about 450,000.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Good choice. He goes, great choice.
Yeah.
He goes, I should have bought more.
There you go. Yeah. He probably laments the fact that he's like, why didn't you tell me to put in more? But the fact that he was willing to take that leap.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is part of the education centers and what we're doing here, and what, why I'm so interested as well, and is you don't know what you don't know.
Absolutely.
But because of, like you said, it's the oil, basically, it's the foundation. Get in the foundation now, because in the next 10 years, who knows what types of layers will be above it? Because, like you said, petroleum is now in everything.
Everything.
It's needed for everything.
This shirt,
yeah,
that jacket.
Everything we're wearing and
These
stuff I put in my
headsets,
beard is petroleum based.
Yeah.
There's oil in here. So that's where Bitcoin is heading. And so this is our fourth location. I said, look lately. Now that I remember, I'm
hours.
So this is the fourth
let's see,
location. We have
1,
more
2,
coming. Yeah.
I think this is 6th.
Sixth. Okay,
Yeah.
that's open now.
Well, we have 2 of them that are open, but they haven't had their grand openings
Excellent.
yet.
Okay,
That's probably why you said 4.
excellent. And that's I want to say, she said, is Las Vegas one of those, and the other?
Yes.
And the other is that another one in Florida?
Yes. That one that's a special location. It's it's literally a block away from Trump's house.
Mar-a-Lago.
At actual.
So watch out.
Mar-a-Lago.
Watch out for the golf balls, folks.
Yeah, and that location is going to have some very, very, very famous people swinging by
I would
on a regular
suspect so.
basis.
Yes. The helicopters will be coming in and out all the time, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
That's excellent.
All right, I'm actually going to bring in our CEO, Jay,
Excellent.
because you got to talk to him, man.
So-
He's amazing.
Wonderful. Well, Ben, hey, thank you for sharing your knowledge with me.
Brother,
Of course,
thank
I'm
you.
glad to be here with you, and then for our online audience and for anyone that tunes in. So we're going to go to commercial break, and then I'm going to bring Jay in, and we're going to hear all about that. So look forward to hearing from Jay next. Thank you.
Hey, Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club members, are you ready to take your crypto game to the next level? Well, buckle up, because we've got something huge for you. As a member of the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you're already part of the future of finance. But what if you could stack even more Bitcoin without waiting? That's right. We're talking about exclusive loans designed just for you. Through the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you can apply for a fast member-only loan. Use the cash to buy Bitcoin right now while the market's hot and watch your stack grow as the revolution unfolds. It's simple. Call us, get approved, and turn that loan into Bitcoin. Pay it back on your terms while you HODL like a pro. Why wait for the moon when you can fuel the rocket yourself? This isn't just a loan, it's your ticket to owning more of the future. And because you're part of our tight-knit community, you get VIP access to rates and support outsiders can only dream of. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your phone and call or text 941-413-6920 to apply now and start stacking SATs today. The Bitcoin revolution waits for no one, especially not you. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where members don't just HODL, we build. See you on the blockchain.
Ever felt left out of the crypto craze? Not anymore. Welcome to Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where community meets opportunity. Our clubs are popping up nationwide, from Sarasota to Nashville, Boston to St. Louis. Join us and unlock a world of benefits. Access all clubs worldwide, earn through referrals, and dive into specialized crypto education. Need help buying crypto? We've got you covered, often with reduced fees. But wait, there's more. Enjoy perks like Bitcoin ATMs, silver purchases, and exclusive investment opportunities. Our state-of-the-art facilities offer podcast rooms, event spaces, and co-working areas. Stay informed with FGTV, our exclusive crypto news and education channel. Choose your membership, from day passes to individual or company plans. Individual members get access for themselves plus 2 guests, perfect for bringing friends or family. Companies can bring up to 15 employees or guests, fostering team growth and networking. Connect, learn, and grow with like-minded crypto enthusiasts. Ready to join the revolution? Visit bitcoinbencryptoclub.com or call 562-526-0813 today. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, your gateway.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled BITCOIN, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around $94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
And we're back. Thank you, everybody, for staying tuned. We are here in Dallas with the Crypto Club here Bitcoin Bins, and I'm honored to be joined by Dr. Jay Bowes, the CEO of both the World Ventures, of Bitcoin Bins World Ventures, and the club. Thank you for being here. What's happening today? There's a lot of buzz here in Dallas with what we've opened today. Tell me how you feel about today.
This is real exciting because today is the opening of our Dallas location. It is in a string of locations that we already have. We have in Sarasota, Nashville, Boston, Dallas is opening today. We opened Las Vegas right over the Bitcoin 2025 Summit, which was last month. We have plans to open St. Louis. We have plans to open Bitcoin Ben Mar-a-Lago. So we have a lot of plans here, but Dallas is really important to us. It's in the heart of our country. It is where where oil has changed the world. And we expect Bitcoin to become that new oil. We expect Bitcoin to become the new currency through which the world will trade, through which people will have sovereignty over their own money, where the money printing of the government will no longer impact our personal finances because we don't rely on it. Yeah. And it is that education, it is that foundation of freedom and sovereignty that Bitcoin brings, which makes it exciting today.
So give me a little bit of your history. And I know we'll get into where you're going to lead. A little bit of your history of how you met Ben. And how did the two of you get involved, and especially at the level you are now?
Great question, and it's all led by God.
Yeah.
I was in Silicon Valley for about 14 years, and then 10 years in Orange County in California, and then COVID hit, and we have two kids, and it became very clear that when you were sitting on the beach and some policeman would come and beat you and tell you to move away from there because it was COVID. It just seemed like tyrannical. It didn't seem like that was freedom. That's not the world I wanted my children to grow in. And we had seen pictures of Florida. We had no friends here. We had never been here. And yet my wife and I prayed, and God told us that we should go to Florida. There'd be something for us. We didn't know what it was. We didn't know what it would be. We certainly had no idea that I'd be here at Bitcoin Ben Club. So we pack up everything. We sold our belongings in California. We moved to Florida, and there was nothing to do because there's no high tech, there's no venture capital. It's a bunch of real estate developers and Dollar General stores, right? Yeah. So it was kind of depressing first as to thinking about whether we had made the right choice. Long story short, I get introduced to Bitcoin Ben, who came and said, "Would you like to open a club?" And I said, "No, really, you don't have much of a business model." I was very direct with him. I'd run companies in Silicon Valley. I'd been with Cisco, done M&A. And so I didn't see what the business model would be. And so I said, no. So I ended up buying a restaurant. And I was running a restaurant because that was just cash flow, not that because I wanted to do it. Yeah. And then came the floods, Hurricane Milton, and just everything was gone. And then suddenly I was like, what should I do now? Should I go back to California? Yeah. And I get a text message at 3 a.m. from Bitcoin Ben, who I hadn't spoken to for 6 months, says, "Brother, I love you. And I haven't talked to you for a long time. Would you please come by?" And I came by that morning, and he said, "Would you please work with me? Because I've taken this company to the level I can, but I know you can take it a lot further along, and I'd like you to work with me." It was like God had sent this man. I was literally this close to leaving Florida and going away. Yeah. And then this came. What is exciting about it is that, there was no premeditated plan that I'd be in Bitcoin. I'd traded Bitcoin back in 2014 and 15, and, but then walked away, done other things. But when this opportunity came, I realized it is about freedom. Yeah. And that is what kept me, because I want this world to be a world where everyone uses Bitcoin so that there can be freedom. Yeah. When you have sovereignty, when you have monetary freedom, when your money is not controlled by the government, that is true freedom.
Agreed. And you are leading the effort, you mentioned government, to help the bigger picture happen, because there's a lot of governments involved in our daily lives, whether we like it or not. We live in a country where there is government. We've chosen to have government, but we can talk to and educate our elected officials of what the people need. And you're doing that. Tell us how.
We started doing that. So we have been supporting our local community quite a bit. General Flynn often says, global thinking, local action, or something to that effect. Sure. Yeah, local action is really important. And so we started talking to some of the local congressmen and senators about what Bitcoin is. We started talking to them about the programs that we could do locally to help local economies, to create jobs, different kinds of things that Bitcoin's going to affect all aspects of it. So very soon, it started becoming clear that we were the more of the experts. We knew what we were talking about, just like President Trump has invited some of the top Bitcoin guys to the summit. That started happening locally. So just last week, I got appointed by the president of the Florida Senate, Senator Albritton, who knew me and said, Jay, we'd love for you to be a part of the Small Business Development Economic Board statewide for the state of Florida, so that it's a 4-year term. So I just went through the Senate confirmation and completed that. And now we have an opportunity to bring our side of the story, what we've already been doing in clubs, helping our club members. Why couldn't we help all the farmers and the cattlemen and the ranchers and the electricians and the plumbers and create jobs in Florida? Florida's economy is bigger than Spain. GDP. People don't know that. It's twice the size of Sweden. Florida uses more power than New York State, energy-wise. We have twice the coastline of California.
Oh, sure.
And because of those things, we can become the ports. I mean, the international maritime trade. We can have free trade zones. We can create jobs with new energy sources. We can harness the sun, the sunshine state.
Oh, yeah.
We can create
shortage.
Bitcoin mining. There's so many areas where rural farming can benefit. We can create treasury structures with Bitcoin against which you can take loans at 0%.
How about that?
And we're already doing that for our club members. We also went and we're not restricted to our shores. We just went and bought a hotel and which we're going to make the first Bitcoin themed resort in El Salvador. We're talking to the government of El Salvador, who has been very Bitcoin friendly, and President Bukele is quite close to President Trump. We're going to be in touch with his office as well. We bought a small credit union, a bank in El Salvador. We'll become probably the first bank over there to actually create a treasury reserve in Bitcoin as opposed to fiat. We'll do a hybrid. We'll have fiat and Bitcoin, but you will be able to send Bitcoin and have a savings account and see your wallet and say, okay, I've got $1 million here. It's all sitting in Bitcoin. And as Bitcoin appreciates, my dollars are appreciating.
Right. Yeah. So congratulations on the appointment.
Thank you.
Because it's important to have knowledgeable people in government spaces advising our elected officials, and that's what you're doing. What are the hurdles you think you have in front of you to educate the populace? Now, you're doing by opening these clubs. That's one of the things you're taking care of.
I think that is a very important and a critical step where we are today. So let me give you an example.
Yes.
Many people that we get at the clubs have been scammed online. They want to get into Bitcoin. They watched a YouTube video. They went online and opened an account with someone who seemed like a reasonable thing. But when they need to take the money out, they can't take the money out anymore because it was a scam.
Yeah.
And we hear, so when they walk into the club, they look you eye to eye. They can shake your hand and we can say, look, we are here.
Yeah.
We are in your community. We will help you open a wallet. We will help you stay out of the scam. There is something good here that you should be part of. It can create generational wealth for you. It can give you independence, financial independence and sovereignty. It's a very different interaction.
It is.
And so that is certainly a part of what we're doing. But we are not only localized. Of course, we'll open many, many more clubs over the next 3 years. We intend to open a lot more clubs across the country and across the world, which becomes these bastions of freedom. But at the same time, we are creating training classes that we have over Zoom calls for our members. You can be remote, you can be anywhere, but you can educate yourself. You can get information about it. But most importantly, we want to create jobs.
Yeah.
We want to create an economy which is going to benefit the greater society. And we want to create a structure where your hard work and wealth that you're creating can be preserved.
Yeah.
One of the programs we have is something called Home to Hodl. I don't know if you know the word hodl. A while back, There was a Bitcoiner who said, I want to buy and hold Bitcoin, but he said, I want to hodl Bitcoin. And the term stuck. So,
That's terrific.
it's I want to hodl Bitcoin. That's our joke. We acronym for hang on for dear life.
Okay, I
So
like it.
hang on to the Bitcoin.
It had
for
to be an
dear life.
acronym.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
So what happens is that as think of the biggest asset anyone has, it's their home. When the home equity is months and months and years of paying mortgage and waking up at that 5 o'clock, doing 3 jobs and paying that mortgage, you built wealth. That's called equity. And yet, when your price of home goes down, which it might, just like it did in 2008,
Absolutely.
you are losing your equity. Now, today, the home market is peaked out. Why would you leave your biggest part of your wealth in a depreciating asset, which has a big potential of going down? Why would you not take that money out, even at 7%, take a home equity loan, buy Bitcoin,
Yeah.
which was then appreciating for the last 4 years at over 60% a year?
That's incredible.
60. So you're basically shorting fiat and going long Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and gaining this arbitrage by keeping your money protected in the safest asset, in the most protected asset, in the most appreciating asset known to humankind.
Right.
We are helping our members with programs where they can get these loans, where they can get the money custodied into Bitcoin, where they can keep it in their own wallet, where no one controls it.
That's terrific. And I have just joined. I'm your first corporate member here in the Dallas office, so I'm really excited about that and glad to be a part of it. And Ben gave me a great big handshake before. And part of the education, what I see that benefits us in this space is not just all of the offices that are available to members, other businesses, like-minded businesses, and people who just want to do all the things you mentioned. We want to better ourselves and better our community, but we also have in this space, it's a community center, really. And that's a lot of that, the concept of that is somewhat lacking, people getting to interact with people. Ever since COVID, when things were shut down, quote unquote, people found we're concerned about that. What this does is make that possible, especially for people who are not in the digital space. They're not getting, some type of interaction here. We have a library here. We have these common areas, we have training rooms, and of course the betterment that you're doing, that the team is doing for all of the different communities. Parting thoughts real quick as we move on, because I know I'm looking out in the room in front of us, Jay, and there are a lot of people here interacting, engaging. We've got a live band. You're probably hearing that out there. We've got some talented musicians out there. But parting thoughts before you get back out there and mingle and get involved in this community.
It's a beautiful thing. Look at this. I'm seeing a little boy sit on his father's lap. I'm seeing an older person engaging in conversation about technology that is so far beyond what they had learned in college.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at women over there asking questions about how their financial future can be. This is what community is about. This is what Bitcoin is about. This is what these clubs are about. It is bringing people together again.
Yes.
You don't have to believe in any religion. You don't have to be of any social structure. You can be anybody. But once you start to realize Bitcoin gives you sovereignty, it gives you life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, but it was really the right to property, which is what the old John Locke thing was.
Right.
But this is what it's about.
Yes.
We are about community, and we are about improving the wealth of the community, the affluence of the Bitcoin Bend members through the mechanism of Bitcoin. We have a wonderful weapon that God has given us, Satoshi has given us, Nakamoto has given us to wield. And with the full armor of God, if we believe in sovereignty of money, we can actually move mountains in ways that people have never imagined. And it is that vision that Ben has to create these clubs and to keep investing in these clubs. So communities, men, women, children can gather, they can talk, they can engage, they can share, and they can earn, and they can grow, and they can become financially completely independent. And that opportunity doesn't come often. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity to create a legacy that'll be there forever.
Excellent. Well, Dr. Jay Bose, thank you for coming in and sharing all of this with people. I know you know him because you can't not know him at this point. But I wanted to get you back out to prospective members and other people in the community. And we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back with more interviews and talking more about the possibilities that are here. So thank you for joining us, and stick with us right after the commercial break.
Hey, Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club members, are you ready to take your crypto game to the next level? Well, buckle up because we've got something huge for you. As a member of the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you're already part of the future of finance. But what if you could stack even more Bitcoin without waiting? That's right. We're talking about exclusive loans designed just for you. Through the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you can apply for a fast member-only loan. Use the cash to buy Bitcoin right now while the market's hot, and watch your stack grow as the revolution unfolds. It's simple. Call us, get approved, and turn that loan into Bitcoin. Pay it back on your terms while you HODL like a pro. Why wait for the moon when you can fuel the rocket yourself? This isn't just a loan, it's your ticket to owning more of the future. And because you're part of our tight-knit community, you get VIP access to rates and support outsiders can only dream of. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your phone and call or text 941-413-6920 to apply now and start stacking SATs today. The Bitcoin revolution waits for no one, especially not you. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where members don't just HODL, we build. See you on the blockchain.
Ever felt left out of the crypto craze? Not anymore. Welcome to Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where community meets opportunity. Our clubs are popping up nationwide, from Sarasota to Nashville, Boston to St. Louis. Join us and unlock a world of benefits. Access all clubs worldwide, earn through referrals, and dive into specialized crypto education. Need help buying crypto? We've got you covered, often with reduced fees. But wait, there's more. Enjoy perks like Bitcoin ATMs, silver purchases, and exclusive investment opportunities. Our state-of-the-art facilities offer podcast rooms, event spaces, and co-working areas. Stay informed with FGTV, our exclusive crypto news and education channel. Choose your membership, from day passes to individual or company plans. Individual members get access for themselves plus 2 guests, perfect for bringing friends or family. Companies can bring up to 15 employees or guests, fostering team growth and networking. Connect, learn, and grow with like-minded crypto enthusiasts. Ready to join the revolution? Visit bitcoinbencryptoclub.com or call 562-526-0813 today. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, your gateway to crypto success.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled BITCOIN, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around 94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
Hey, Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club members, are you ready to take your crypto game to the next level? Well, buckle up because we've got something huge for you. As a member of the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you're already part of the future of finance. But what if you could stack even more Bitcoin without waiting? That's right. We're talking about exclusive loans designed just for you. Through the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you can apply for a fast member-only loan. Use the cash to buy Bitcoin right now while the market's hot, and watch your stack grow as the revolution unfolds. It's simple. Call us, get approved, and turn that loan into Bitcoin. Pay it back on your terms while you HODL like a pro. Why wait for the moon when you can fuel the rocket yourself? This isn't just a loan, it's your ticket to owning more of the future. And because you're part of our tight-knit community, you get VIP access to rates and support outsiders can only dream of. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your phone and call or text 941-413-6920 to apply now and start stacking SATs today. The Bitcoin revolution waits for no one, especially not you. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where members don't just HODL, we build. See you on the blockchain.
Ever felt left out of the crypto craze? Not anymore. Welcome to Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where community meets opportunity. Our clubs are popping up nationwide, from Sarasota to Nashville, Boston to St. Louis. Join us and unlock a world of benefits. Access all clubs worldwide, earn through referrals, and dive into specialized crypto education. Need help buying crypto? We've got you covered, often with reduced fees. But wait, there's more. Enjoy perks like Bitcoin ATMs, silver purchases, and exclusive investment opportunities. Our state-of-the-art facilities offer podcast rooms, event spaces, and co-working areas. Stay informed with FGTV, our exclusive crypto news and education channel. Choose your membership, from day passes to individual or company plans. Individual members get access for themselves plus 2 guests, perfect for bringing friends or family. Companies can bring up to 15 employees or guests, fostering team growth and networking. Connect, learn, and grow with like-minded crypto enthusiasts. Ready to join the revolution? Visit bitcoinbencryptoclub.com or call 562-526-0813 today. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, your gateway to crypto success.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled BITCOIN, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around 94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
Hey, Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club members, are you ready to take your crypto game to the next level? Well, buckle up because we've got something huge for you. As a member of the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you're already part of the future of finance. But what if you could stack even more Bitcoin without waiting? That's right. We're talking about exclusive loans designed just for you. Through the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you can apply for a fast member-only loan. Use the cash to buy Bitcoin right now while the market's hot, and watch your stack grow as the revolution unfolds. It's simple. Call us, get approved, and turn that loan into Bitcoin. Pay it back on your terms while you HODL like a pro. Why wait for the moon when you can fuel the rocket yourself? This isn't just a loan, it's your ticket to owning more of the future. And because you're part of our tight-knit community, you get VIP access to rates and support outsiders can only dream of. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your phone and call or text 941-413-6920 to apply now and start stacking SATs today. The Bitcoin revolution waits for no one, especially not you. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where members don't just HODL, we build. See you on the blockchain.
Howdy, everybody. I'm Buddy Broyles. I'm here at the grand opening of Bitcoin Ben's. Hard for me to roll off my tongue. Bitcoin Ben's cryptocurrency crypto club here in Dallas. It's the newest location. Today is the grand opening. So you're probably hearing music in the background. We've got a live band here playing, enjoying that. A bunch of people hanging out, getting to know what's possible here in this club. And I just wanted to pop in real quick, say our next guest will be Nathan Kirby, and we're going to talk to him about his involvement in the organization. I am now the first corporate member that has joined this club, and the Dallas Club. We'll have this podcast studio available to members and, of course, the larger population. We produce podcasts, so it's Blue Mike Studios. We'll have a studio here, and there will be opportunities for you. So get involved. I definitely encourage you to learn more. Of course, you're watching from around the globe. You already know, but share with your friends, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes with Nathan Kirby. So we'll be hearing more from him. So stick with us. We'll head into this break and be right back.
Ever felt left out of the crypto craze? Not anymore. Welcome to Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where community meets opportunity. Our clubs are popping up nationwide, from Sarasota to Nashville, Boston to St. Louis. Join us and unlock a world of benefits. Access all clubs worldwide, earn through referrals, and dive into specialized crypto education. Need help buying crypto? We've got you covered, often with reduced fees. But wait, there's more. Enjoy perks like Bitcoin ATMs, silver purchases, and exclusive investment opportunities. Our state-of-the-art facilities offer podcast rooms, event spaces, and co-working areas. Stay informed with FGTV, our exclusive crypto news and education channel. Choose your membership, from day passes to individual or company plans. Individual members get access for themselves plus 2 guests, perfect for bringing friends or family. Companies can bring up to 15 employees or guests, fostering team growth and networking. Connect, learn, and grow with like-minded crypto enthusiasts. Ready to join the revolution? Visit bitcoinbencryptoclub.com or call 562-526-0813 today. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, your gateway to crypto success.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled BITCOIN, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around 94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
Welcome back. We are broadcasting live from the Plano, it's Dallas to most of you out there, location here in Texas. And I'm joined right now with Nathan Kirby, and we're right here at the Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club, and it's a grand opening. Like today's the first day this space is open. There's a lot going on. You can hear music off in the distance. I'm looking at a big window here, Nathan. There's lots of people out here mingling, getting to know the space and what's possible. So we want to get to know you. So let's talk about your journey and how you got involved with Bitcoin Ben and the organization.
Yeah, real quickly. I tell people, you don't find Bitcoin, Bitcoin kind of finds you.
Yeah.
My journey into Bitcoin started really in 2011 when my oldest son at the time started mining Bitcoin. Of course, he got in a great time. We were in real estate business. We were doing good there, but all of a sudden, a few years later, he retires. And
how about that?
Wow, it's incredible. Yeah. But still, I was not interested in the Bitcoin journey. I just knew he had done some stuff. But in 2017, I was having a flight physical, and the doctor looked at me. I was 57 at the time, and he was like, "Nathan, I think you'll live to 100." I said, "Great." And literally seconds later, the nurse walks in. She hands him a file, and he looks at it and says, "Man, there's some markers in your blood I don't like."
Oh.
But I'm not worried. How little did I know how worried he was. What transpired over the next couple of days was blood test, body scan. 4 days later, I get diagnosed stage 4 cancer.
Man.
With no symptom.
Really?
6 months to live.
Oh my goodness.
Boom.
Yeah, just like that.
Just
you handed that. Yeah.
And I was like, wow. So
that's a wake up call.
Yeah. I won't go through the whole story because
Sure.
we're doing quite a bit with that right now. But I survived all of that, and without one treatment, mine was a very miraculous healing.
Yeah.
But so I'm going through life. That was 2017. Still doing real estate, and I did find out one thing. that my dad had died of the same type of cancer. Like, wait a minute, what happened? Well, we grew up on a farm. My mother's second youngest of 13, so farmers don't talk.
Mm.
So through that journey after 2017, I was like, wait a minute, Dad died of it. Then I found out my granddad died of it. 3 uncles and 6 cousins. They all died from this type of cancer was caused by the Roundup we used.
Oh boy.
So I was out there calling. I was living in Florida at the time, but I was calling everybody back home and saying, look, you got to go get checked. Get yourself checked. And December 3rd was the turning point for me of 2019. One of my younger brothers called. They just diagnosed him with the same cancer. And I said, have you lost your mind? I've been telling you to go get checked. I didn't think it was going to happen to me. What's the prognosis? 6 months. He dies in 4.
Oh,
This is during COVID, so you
Yeah.
couldn't bury anybody.
right.
Crazy times.
Sorry for your loss.
No, man, it's life. And then
Yeah.
2 months later, I get a phone call from my mother. She says she's going in the hospital for some minor diverticulitis surgery. I said, Mom, there's no minor surgeries. It's COVID. She goes in what's supposed to be 5 days. She ends up being there 35 days. She dies in the hospital. They told us it was COVID, but subsequently we found out it was not COVID. It was cancer. So I was like, man. So August of that year, I'm standing over we're finally able to get together as a family, and we're burying my mother and brother right beside my dad. And I'm looking at this little country cemetery, country church in North Carolina. And I was like, looking out there and all these tombstones with the grass growing up in the background. I was like, man, is this going to be my legacy? I was thinking about this thing. And the other thought happened at that moment. It's like, wait a minute, how did I not know this man in my family? This whole history.
Yeah.
So after that, I basically took 6 or 7 months off of work. I still did some work, and I started looking around the world. I was like, wait a minute. Started traveling this country, that country. And I was like, wait a minute, they don't have a cancer in this country to the degree we have back here. They don't have diverticulitis, don't have cardiovascular disease. And what I found out was these countries, they focus on one thing called early detection.
Yes.
That's the difference.
yeah.
So
yeah.
I come back and I end up in Washington, meeting with some high-profile people up there. I won't name the names, but I asked them. I said, "Listen, we're spending billions of dollars on this thing called cancer. Where's the money going?" And they were like, 97% goes to research and treatment, 3% goes to prevention. I said, "How about early detection?" The next words out of this guy's mouth was, "Well, so there's no money in early detection." I was like, "What?" So I came back, started the foundation, and was talking to my son that had done. I said, "Man, I got this challenge in my mind and my spirit was my legacy, and then medical information." He said, "Dad, all this can be found in Bitcoin and the blockchain." I was
Really?
like, "Really?"
Interesting. Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, Dad, you could take a Bitcoin or a piece of Bitcoin, write a smart contract, and live on forever. You could give back to your foundation by doing that." And I said, "Well, talk to me about the blockchain." He said, "Well, all this medical information that was hidden from us as family, we can load it off the blockchain and release it at your death. So now your whole entire family has history. I don't have to ask anymore." So literally, as this conversation was taking place, I'm driving down the road called Bee Ridge Road, and I'm talking to him, and I said, "Dude, there's a Bitcoin Ben's place here. I'm not sure what this is." He said, "Really?" Turn around and go back. So I did. Walked in the door, and a young man, Sherpa, was there. "What do y'all do here?" He said, we teach people about crypto and Bitcoin." "How much is it?" He told me. I said, "Sign me up."
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I started out just as a member of them and started learning more and more about Bitcoin and how it would change the world. People look at this initially because of financials, I think, but I saw it for a different reason. I saw it a way to create legacy, to spread truth. The truth that I wanted to spread was, why is it we have medical history we can't unlock? It's called HEPA.
Yeah.
And we think that's for our protection. It's not for our protection, in my opinion. It's so that we don't have the knowledge of what goes on with our families. So that was my journey into it. And we started a foundation wrapped around that a couple of years ago. And that's where I spend a lot of my time now.
So tell me about the foundation.
The foundation is called keepitchecked.org.
Keep it checked.
Keepitchecked.org. And if you go to it, we initially started out about spreading the message about the power of early detection, that early detection will save your life with cancer.
Yes.
And then we find out that early detection will save your life for cardiovascular disease, diabetes, everything known to man. Practically, the sooner you catch it, the better.
Yep.
People don't realize if you can catch cancer at stage 0 or 1 or 2, because there's a stage 0, the likelihood you're going to survive it past 5 years is over 90%.
Yes.
Well, we know, you and I know we should eat properly, we
Yes.
should exercise properly, we should get sleep, we should do all these things. But we are a disciplined masses of people. We want to eat what we want to. We don't we want to drink what we want to. We want to do all these things. So, there's a saying, ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
You bet. Yeah.
Well, if that's the truth, early detection is worth a ton, because we're not going to do an ounce of prevention.
Right.
So that was the foundation we started. And through that, we started a youth initiative where we now have our kids holding their parents responsible for screenings and early detection devices and stuff like that. So that's going well for us.
Yeah. I find that, because I'm pretty active and talking to my parents, and I want that for my kids to have that relationship with me, to remind me, because that does two things. One, it gets me to the doctor, but two, it reminds me that they care.
Yes.
And when you have that loop, the conversation, the communication, the care, then good things happen.
Absolutely.
That's where the prevention happens.
Absolutely.
Is being reminded that you're cared about and caring enough to involve them. So that's really terrific that you're called to that. So you mentioned, I want to go back to, like, your son got his start in 2011, is retired now.
Yes.
So that's why I want to talk a little bit with our audience about the benefit of, because a lot of people have this question. I wouldn't think our online streaming audience, but some people out there might have that question that you have when you walked into the first club was, what is it? Right.
Yeah. So real quickly, and I teach class on this. So people want to know what Bitcoin is, or the blockchain.
Yeah.
Okay. Real quickly, I'll ask you, how long has the digital currency been around? When did that start? Digital currency?
Was that 2008?
No.
No.
Digital currency started in 1957 with the advent of the Diners Club card.
How about
That's
that?
where it started.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
we call it something different now.
Sure.
And then a few years later, the credit companies got involved, and they're like, oh my God, we can get involved in this. We can charge people 29% for buying a pizza,
Wow.
and they're not going to pay it off. So that's where that come into.
That's great trivia. That's
crazy.
Great trivia. Yeah.
So I ask you another question. When did the blockchain start? What is the blockchain, first of all?
That's that. I see.
Easy. It's easy.
I joined the club
Okay,
today
cool.
so I can learn.
The blockchain
now.
is a
Yeah.
ledger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did the ledger start?
Oh gosh.
It started thousands of
Beginning of time.
years ago,
Yeah.
when people would take a tool,
Stone tablet.
put
Yeah.
it in,
They're
and they
digging
would-
them up all
yeah,
the time.
They were
Yeah.
digging them up. That
Yeah.
was your ledger.
Yes.
So fast forward to where we are now. The ledger now is in the world of the blockchain. So it's nothing new. So digital currency is nothing new. The blockchain is nothing new. It just scares people because the technology. I'm almost 64 years old, and it was very hard for me because I was afraid of it. I was like, what is this stuff? The
Yeah.
whole thing.
Sure.
But when I took a deep dive into it, this is cool.
Yeah.
And now I see the blockchain. I see Bitcoin. I see artificial intelligence, stuff we're doing with artificial intelligence right now. That whole thing is totally incredible. So I did a class a couple months ago for a group these people were 70 years older or better. It was amazing how encouraged they were, and how encouraged I was to see how curious they were of what was going on.
Well, I was talking to Ben earlier about that. So he went into a bank and he said, buddy, I hate banks. But he went into a bank anyway, and he saw people, the older generation, and they're just, putting their money in there, and they're getting charged all these fees and other things. But they're also, the previous generation would take that cash when it actually was on a gold standard, and they'd hide it underneath their mattress.
Absolutely.
But now that stack of paper is just going down in value because they're printing more of it, versus Bitcoin is doing the opposite. Cryptocurrency is just, I've had several stories today, and for you that have tuned in, we've talked about this several times, and what happened with your son is buy in, and it just keeps going up.
Yeah.
Because we're getting involved. So talk to me about what you know.
Yeah,
about
there's I've done well in real estate, okay?
Terrific.
And done well in real estate. But when I took that mental shift into this thing called Bitcoin, and it being a valid piece of real estate, you can look back at time, and I'm not a financial advisor, so it's not financial advice.
Just people talking here.
But there is
everybody.
no other asset class in history that has gone up an average of 50% a year since inception.
Yeah.
It's like my son says to me, why would you ever invest in another piece of real estate now?
Once you see the track
Well, I
record.
used to teach a class when I had to do the real estate business. I taught a class called Tenants, Toilets, and Trash. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
10 stores.
That's a great name.
He said, why would you even do this when you got an asset over here that you could put in, forget about it, sit it and forget it. They can't steal it from you. They can't take it from you. They can't shake it out of your hand. Why would you do anything else? It took me a couple of years to realize what he was telling was the honest to God truth.
Yeah.
And I'm not telling you to go sell your houses. I'm just telling you right now what works for me right now. And that process it took me to get here right now.
Right. And when speaking earlier to Heidi, it was so much of, like, all the things that we don't, the early adopters are, call them what you will. It's like they're risk takers, entrepreneurs, whatnot. But for the rest of it, it's getting over that fear.
Mm-hmm.
And fear is a lack of knowledge in those cases.
That's all it is.
And that's what, the plan here with Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club is. It's an education center. And by that, it's a community, it's an education center. So we can talk with people like you that have been through all, a whole life of knowing different things, including your personal journey, your health journey, is understanding that knowledge early on takes away fear, adds power. And then especially with the return on investment that Bitcoin has been, there's so much to learn here. And get past fear, get into learning.
Yeah, when you get beyond, yes, you can make money with this. And you start looking underneath the hood of this thing, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, I see these kids around here with families. We can teach a generation of kids right now. By the time they get 20 or 30 years old, they're completely understandable of the system, what they shouldn't be doing, what they should be doing. So this is, I see the clubs as being educational centers for people.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's part of the purpose. Now, there's all types of business connections that happen. There are amenities available, the knowledge base, but and some of the, we have training rooms and other things, and just honestly a place to relax and hang out, a quiet place.
Yeah, the other thing is a cool place to come together with like-minded people.
Yeah.
So I could talk to my family, my brothers and sisters. They were like, "You're crazy. This is nuts." Okay. You come into the club, it's a like-minded people. So if you're out there right now and you're closet Bitcoiner, come out the closet, come to the club and enjoy it.
Yeah. And then be here with not only that is you don't know what you don't know. You may think you're a master in a certain area, but there's always going to be someone like yourself that I'll walk in and say, you'll have knowledge that I couldn't possibly earned through time and space and all the things that you've done in your life.
And you can accelerate learning by it if you do that.
Yep.
What took me a couple of years to learn, you can come in now and spend time with us. And literally, if you trust what we're doing and trust what we're saying, you learn in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's terrific. Well, quick wrap up, Nathan, parting thoughts before I want to get you back out there and meeting the people that are here for our grand opening today.
Guys, I would just do yourself a favor and take a look at this. In 6 months, there's only going to be two things you're going to be saying to yourself. You're going to be saying, I regret I didn't move forward and take a look at it. But thank God I did take a look at this thing called Bitcoin.
Excellent. Well, I really appreciate you spending time
thank you so
educating us, myself. And
Absolutely,
it's really great being
sir.
here with you and hearing your journey.
Thank you guys for listening.
All right. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. Our next guest will include Ben. So the man himself will come in and we'll wrap up the show today. I hope you've had a great time. You've learned a lot, and there's more to come. So join us after the break.
Hey, Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club members, are you ready to take your crypto game to the next level? Well, buckle up because we've got something huge for you. As a member of the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you're already part of the future of finance. But what if you could stack even more Bitcoin without waiting? That's right. We're talking about exclusive loans designed just for you. Through the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you can apply for a fast member-only loan. Use the cash to buy Bitcoin right now while the market's hot, and watch your stack grow as the revolution unfolds. It's simple. Call us, get approved, and turn that loan into Bitcoin. Pay it back on your terms while you HODL like a pro. Why wait for the moon when you can fuel the rocket yourself? This isn't just a loan, it's your ticket to owning more of the future. And because you're part of our tight-knit community, you get VIP access to rates and support outsiders can only dream of. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your phone and call or text 941-413-6920 to apply now and start stacking SATs today. The Bitcoin revolution waits for no one, especially not you. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where members don't just HODL, we build. See you on the blockchain.
Ever felt left out of the crypto craze? Not anymore. Welcome to Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where community meets opportunity. Our clubs are popping up nationwide, from Sarasota to Nashville, Boston to St. Louis. Join us and unlock a world of benefits. Access all clubs worldwide, earn through referrals, and dive into specialized crypto education. Need help buying crypto? We've got you covered, often with reduced fees. But wait, there's more. Enjoy perks like Bitcoin ATMs, silver purchases, and exclusive investment opportunities. Our state-of-the-art facilities offer podcast rooms, event spaces, and co-working areas. Stay informed with FGTV, our exclusive crypto news and education channel. Choose your membership, from day passes to individual or company plans. Individual members get access for themselves plus 2 guests, perfect for bringing friends or family. Companies can bring up to 15 employees or guests, fostering team growth and networking. Connect, learn, and grow with like-minded crypto enthusiasts. Ready to join the revolution? Visit bitcoinbencryptoclub.com or call 562-526-0813 today. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, your gateway to crypto success.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled BITCOIN, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around 94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
Welcome back to Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club here in Dallas, Texas. This is the grand opening, and I'm joined by one of the co-owners, Michael Phelps. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing great. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, great to see you. So how did you get here?
Oh, wow. It's been a journey. I started listening to Bitcoin Ben about 5 years ago.
Sure.
And he's been doing a Bitcoin podcast for about 10 years. And a buddy of mine turned me on to a podcast that I saw Ben be a guest on, and I heard him talking about Bitcoin and started listening to the show, and I didn't miss an episode for about 4 years.
Wow.
Not one, and most of them I listened to twice.
So did you join a club? I mean, how did you get into this business?
Yeah, so this metaverse has been evolving over the past 10 to 12 years, and we have a venture capital group that Ben started. He started many Bitcoin businesses that contribute and cooperate with each other. And so the venture capital group I joined, our first project was the Bitcoin K1 Mini ATM. And the second project was Zpod sensory deprivation chamber for special needs kids to help them sleep.
Terrific.
Well, we vote on these projects that are Bitcoin and decentralized, and eventually we had the project for the clubs come before the venture capital group, and we voted to open the club in Sarasota, Florida. I had an opportunity, my one opportunity to go out to the state of Texas for business in 10 years was to go to Tampa right after the Sarasota club opened. So I did my thing for work, and I jumped in a rental car and drove to Sarasota to check out the club and met Bamboo face to face. And I thought, you know what, this is amazing. And if there can be one in Sarasota, Florida, there can be one in Dallas, Texas.
You bet. And we're glad you're here. So today is the grand opening. So we are right here. It's in Plano, Texas. Super easy location to get to. Just honestly Google Bitcoin Plano, and you're going to find this sign that's outside. Really easy to see from the road. The journey has taken years to open this, I assume.
Yeah.
Especially the past few months, you guys have been so busy just getting the doors open. Tell me a little bit about the challenges and your why.
Yeah.
Why was it so important to open this place?
So that was 2 years ago that I visited the Sarasota club.
Yeah.
And so then we went on to open one in Nashville, and we went on to open one in Massachusetts. And then I thought, hey, we're ready. And you're never ready. We weren't ready. I've been getting lessons in commercial real estate.
Good lessons. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And my partners have been enjoying my learning curve. So for me, the why is because I know I've been called to this. My personal testimony, I'll talk a lot about the message of Jesus and the message of Bitcoin. I've been called to this, and I know that I am meant to help people and share the gift that I've been given in Bitcoin and Jesus.
That's great
as well.
Yeah. And I've known you for a little bit of time. So
Yeah.
Michael and I are in a business group together, and met several times and just exchanged cards and done all the things you do when you're networking with
Right.
people. But what I like about this club, Michael, is I'm the first corporate member. I've just joined. There's a handshake deal with Ben. And you were there.
It was
a couple
exciting.
hours ago.
Yeah,
Very
things
excited.
are happening.
We can do great things, but that's really it's the community that you're building under this roof and in Dallas. Is super important. The learning that you have possible. Tell me about that what we're doing here with the community.
Yeah, so the idea is we build a community within our community where people can not be embarrassed or feel like their questions are silly and learn from the mistakes of the people that have been doing it for 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
I made mistakes. I didn't do things the right way. I learned hard lessons about security and private keys and altcoins and meme coins and all of the things, right? So we have that bond in common, the people that have been in it for a while, so we can come together and share in that, but that can also serve to educate people that are new to the space.
Yes.
And please learn from our mistakes. Let us help you. Okay, I want to get into Bitcoin. Where are you going to buy it? You want to get into crypto? How do you research it? We do. That's what we do. We research these things. We know where to look. We know where to send you. We may not have, somebody might have the answer, but somebody might not have the answer, but we'll get you pointed in the right direction.
Yes.
Whatever it is you want to know. And that goes for Web3, artificial intelligence, the technology revolution that's coming. It's all connected.
Yes.
and it's coming whether we're ready for it or not.
Right.
So
get involved as early as you can in anything. It's funny. I was talking to Dr. Joy Bose a little while ago about the innovations.
Yes.
And one of the analogies for his was like when the tractor was invented versus people out there just handpicking. It scared some people,
Sure.
but it created all these other jobs because
Sure.
now the tractor needs maintenance, it needs paint, it needs accessories and all these other wonderful things. And that's where we are right now, whether we know it or not, whether you adapt to it or not, is we are in another shift. It's kind of like the horse to car.
Yeah.
And where you invest your time and effort needs to be in innovation.
Yes.
And a lot of us don't like, we all fear change, Michael.
Sure.
I certainly, but what you have here now is the first club in Dallas it's the crypto club. meaning the education's here, the community's here,
Yes.
and you can be a part of it and elevate yourself.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
even Heidi mentioned that earlier. Is the elevation is it's all going up together, and it's not doing this. It's doing this. That's what Bitcoin does. Is it rises. So tell me about that.
When you Bitcoin rewards and Bitcoin Ben network rewards the people that contribute to the network, which
Yep.
in turn makes the network stronger for the other members of the network. So it's we have this mentality of zero sum success, and we have to divorce ourselves from that. My prosperity and happiness and wealth and can is best working with your
Yep.
success and wealth, and we can all be
United we stand.
Yes. The rising tide
Yeah.
lifts all boats. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's one of my favorites. That's excellent. Well, parting thoughts, because I don't want to keep you, Michael. You're one of
Yeah.
the co-owners of this location. I see a lot of people, and of course, online. You're hearing there was music playing just a minute ago. We've got a band out there, some talented fellas. A lot going on here. I want to get you back out there.
Yeah,
But for people who are like, put fear out of the way, and tell us what they can do. What's the best way to contact you and just get here?
Yeah. So the best thing to do would be to come and see the club and kind of experience it. It's a little bit surreal, I'm happy to give my cell phone number is 469-693-2082. That's my phone number in my pocket. Michael at BitcoinBenCryptoClub.com. Visit the website, follow us on X, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Telegram,
Yep.
Orange Pill app, Circle, Signal, what else?
There's too many. And I imagine if you look we're streaming on 8 different platforms, Michael.
Wow.
So if you're finding this,
I think I named most of them.
You can yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You can find us, and of course now with the physical location here in Dallas, if you just Google Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club here, and you're gonna find it.
Bring you right here.
The
Yes, sir.
sign is
Yeah.
huge
Yeah.
out there. You really can't miss it.
Yeah.
So come here and meet Michael, meet the other partners, meet myself. Of course, I'm taking up residence here as well, and get to know us. And don't be afraid of what you don't know, because none of us know everything, right? But if you come into a community that has a great knowledge of learned and earned knowledge, like you said, I like that you can point them in the right direction. Even if we don't know, we can say we don't know, but we can point you in the right direction.
Courage is in much shorter supply than intelligence.
There you go. Well said, Michael.
Thank you so much.
Thank
buddy.
you for coming on the show.
Appreciate you.
And stick around with us, everybody. We're going to go to commercial break. We'll come back with more guests, and including the man himself. Ben is still here, and we're going to get him in for some closing thoughts here shortly.
Awesome.
Hey, Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club members, are you ready to take your crypto game to the next level? Well, buckle up because we've got something huge for you. As a member of the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you're already part of the future of finance. But what if you could stack even more Bitcoin without waiting? That's right. We're talking about exclusive loans designed just for you. Through the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you can apply for a fast member-only loan. Use the cash to buy Bitcoin right now while the market's hot, and watch your stack grow as the revolution unfolds. It's simple. Call us, get approved, and turn that loan into Bitcoin. Pay it back on your terms while you HODL like a pro. Why wait for the moon when you can fuel the rocket yourself? This isn't just a loan, it's your ticket to owning more of the future. And because you're part of our tight-knit community, you get VIP access to rates and support outsiders can only dream of. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your phone and call or text 941-413-6920 to apply now and start stacking SATs today. The Bitcoin revolution waits for no one, especially not you. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where members don't just HODL, we build. See you on the blockchain.
Ever felt left out of the crypto craze? Not anymore. Welcome to Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where community meets opportunity. Our clubs are popping up nationwide, from Sarasota to Nashville, Boston to St. Louis. Join us and unlock a world of benefits. Access all clubs worldwide, earn through referrals, and dive into specialized crypto education. Need help buying crypto? We've got you covered, often with reduced fees. But wait, there's more. Enjoy perks like Bitcoin ATMs, silver purchases, and exclusive investment opportunities. Our state-of-the-art facilities offer podcast rooms, event spaces, and co-working areas. Stay informed with FGTV, our exclusive crypto news and education channel. Choose your membership, from day passes to individual or company plans. Individual members get access for themselves plus 2 guests, perfect for bringing friends or family. Companies can bring up to 15 employees or guests, fostering team growth and networking. Connect, learn, and grow with like-minded crypto enthusiasts. Ready to join the revolution? Visit bitcoinbencryptoclub.com or call 562-526-0813 today. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, your gateway to crypto success.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled BITCOIN, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around 94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
Hey, Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club members, are you ready to take your crypto game to the next level? Well, buckle up because we've got something huge for you. As a member of the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you're already part of the future of finance. But what if you could stack even more Bitcoin without waiting? That's right. We're talking about exclusive loans designed just for you. Through the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you can apply for a fast member-only loan. Use the cash to buy Bitcoin right now while the market's hot, and watch your stack grow as the revolution unfolds. It's simple. Call us, get approved, and turn that loan into Bitcoin. Pay it back on your terms while you HODL like a pro. Why wait for the moon when you can fuel the rocket yourself? This isn't just a loan, it's your ticket to owning more of the future. And because you're part of our tight-knit community, you get VIP access to rates and support outsiders can only dream of. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your phone and call or text 941-413-6920 to apply now and start stacking SATs today. The Bitcoin revolution waits for no one, especially not you. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where members don't just hodl, we build. See you on the blockchain.
Ever felt left out of the crypto craze? Not anymore. Welcome to Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where community meets opportunity. Our clubs are popping up nationwide, from Sarasota to Nashville, Boston to St. Louis. Join us and unlock a world of benefits. Access all clubs worldwide, earn through referrals, and dive into specialized crypto education. Need help buying crypto? We've got you covered, often with reduced fees. But wait, there's more. Enjoy perks like Bitcoin ATMs, silver purchases, and exclusive investment opportunities. Our state-of-the-art facilities offer podcast rooms, event spaces, and co-working areas. Stay informed with FGTV, our exclusive crypto news and education channel. Choose your membership, from day passes to individual or company plans. Individual members get access for themselves plus 2 guests, perfect for bringing friends or family. Companies can bring up to 15 employees or guests, fostering team growth and networking. Connect, learn, and grow with like-minded crypto enthusiasts. Ready to join the revolution? Visit bitcoinbencryptoclub.com or call 562-526-0813 today. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, your gateway to crypto success.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm back with the man himself. How you doing, Ben?
Oh, wonderful. This event is just amazing.
It has been fantastic.
Wow. I thought we'd have a crowd, but we got a crowd.
There's so much going on out there. You know, I've been watching from as we interviewed other people your friends have been on the show. A lot of people have come and gone. I feel the buzz. So what have you seen out there, and who you've been talking to and what are they asking you? I mean, there's lots of questions.
A lot of it is they've heard of Bitcoin. They kind of get an idea of it, and I think that a lot of them realize the problems we're having here in America, and the inflation. Housing is unaffordable for the younger generation. That's a big issue.
It's a big problem.
And I think they're learning that there's a solution out there, that there is a solution that can hold not only your wealth, but more importantly, your purchasing power. And at where we're at right now, it really doesn't just hold your purchasing power. It increases your purchasing power. So you aren't just keeping up with inflation, you're blowing the doors off of inflation.
Absolutely.
And that's what a lot of people need to really realize is now that the treasury bonds are in the trouble they're in right now, there is no other place for the globe to go. Because the old reliable asset was the U.S. Treasuries. And now that the Treasuries are no longer attractive interest rate wise, or even really like globally because of the conflicts and everything, that they're looking for, where do I hold my money?
Yeah.
I have a lot of money, but if I just hold it in dollars, they're inflating that away like crazy.
Yeah.
And I think that's why there's so many wealthy people, and I mean billionaires, who are literally looking at Bitcoin and they're salivating. They're like, wait, so I can not only retain my purchasing power, I can grow it.
Yeah.
And so they're looking at the actual Bitcoin in a completely different way than us average Joes do. We're like, hey, we might take $1,000 and we might make it into $2,000 if we hold it. These guys are looking at generational wealth. Because when you're a billionaire, it's not like you're going to go out and you're going to use up all your money.
No.
But if you hold it in dollars, maybe a generation and a half from now, your generations are broke.
Yep.
Because you aren't holding a secure value asset. And they're looking at Bitcoin and going, holy cow, I could literally cement my lineage in
For
wealth.
generations to come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
As far as we can see, anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's and I've actually had people ask, well, I mean, what makes you think it's going to be around in 10 years or 20 years? Easy question. Do you think that technology do we have more technology now than we did 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Is online smaller now than it was 10 years ago? No. And especially with the AI adoption and for those who really grasp what's going on, there are things called AI agents, where they're basically your digital assistant. Well, those can generate income if you set them up right. And they're not going to be paid in dollars.
Right.
They're going to be paid over the Lightning Network or the Liquid Network on top of the actual Bitcoin protocol. And once you realize that right now there's 8 billion people on Earth, well, the estimate from some of the AI guys is, look, within 10 years, there will be 100 billion agents exchanging value over the internet.
Yep.
Folks, let me just lay this down real quick. In order to actually be used as a currency, initially you have to actually be a store of value. And right now, that's what everyone's saying is, Bitcoin's only a store of value. It's only a store of value. Well, the store of value market globally is $600 trillion.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To put that in perspective.
Try, because that's such a big number. Yeah.
$600 trillion. If half of that was held in actual Bitcoin, each Bitcoin would be $133 million.
Right. There's only 21 million of them.
Exactly.
In existence, and some aren't
Right.
available. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you think $100,000 is expensive, look at it like this. Like I said earlier, if you get in now, you're landing on Plymouth Rock. Well, if you purchase one friggin' Bitcoin right now, you just purchased an acre of land in Manhattan when it was ran by the Indians.
Right. Hundreds of years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And
what would that be of value to your future generations?
Bingo.
Yeah.
So don't look at how much money you have. Look at how much Bitcoin you own. Because if you could travel back in time, how much of Manhattan would you buy? As much as you could get your damn hands on.
All of it.
All of it.
Yeah,
I would buy Manhattan.
I would consider all. Half would be fine. The lower half would be great.
Right. And the reason this is such a good analogy is New York is in limited supply.
Oh yeah.
Just like Bitcoin. And the more of it you purchase early, because New York is an economy. That's what Bitcoin is. It's a monetary unit that an economy is actually being built on top of.
Yes.
And it's decentralized, so nobody runs it. We all do. So I can't rip you off and you can't rip me off. This is completely decentralized. Yeah. We can all own a share of New York before New York is New York.
Yeah.
And it's just such an opportunity generationally, because you and I aren't younger guys, but even in our lifetime, the amount of appreciation is going to be phenomenal.
I mean,
phenomenal.
just in the past few years. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, if let's say you have $400,000 in your 401k, and you're sitting there, you're watching the market, you're watching at how overpriced every stock is right now, and you're like, my God, if I buy Apple, I'm buying the top. And, you know, I mean, this is not a good situation for investment. Well, the key to investment is to actually locate a company or an asset that is at the beginning of an adoption wave. That's why Apple, when they launched the cell phone, their share price went like crazy.
Yeah, the first iPhone just blew everybody away.
Right. And that's exactly what Bitcoin is.
Yeah.
It's except bigger, because this is a decentralized monetary unit that is global. So it isn't an America coin. It isn't an Asia coin. It isn't an Australia coin. It's all of these fiat currencies are actually being shoved into this one monetary unit with limited supply. I explain it like this. Look at Bitcoin as a balloon.
Yes.
And you blow economic energy into it every time that you buy it. Well, it gets larger and larger and larger and larger. And as you look at the balloon, you see size. Well, when you look at Bitcoin, you see price. That's your equivalent there. You have size equals price, because it's the amount of pressure inside, which pressure in this analysis would be economic value.
Yeah.
That pressure pushed into the balloon grows the balloon bigger. Well, what if everyone in America, every time, or everyone in the world, every time they took 10 breaths, one of them they blew into Bitcoin?
That's a heck of a balloon.
It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And people ask, well, how high can it go? And
because sure, a balloon's going to pop at some point, right?
Nope.
You're like, well,
no,
not with this.
it's because the difference between the balloon and actual Bitcoin is that the actual Bitcoin is a monetary network of energy. So it doesn't have the shell of the balloon.
Right, which is the weakness.
Right. And anyone who has grown up with the internet and cell phones, and you and I remember what the hell's a cell phone?
Yeah.
That's what them rich folk got.
Remember rotary dials?
Yeah, I mean, I remember at our house we had a party line.
Yes.
All right, that's old school.
Yeah,
That's where your neighbor's using the phone.
Yeah, that's a limitation.
And it's all of us who have grown up and seen the growth of the internet and the growth of the cell phone, and how many of us really go over and go, oh, I need to go to the bank. Let me hop in the car. No, you hop on your phone and you do your mobile banking. And hell, Amazon, you don't even have to go shopping anymore. You got it shipped to the house. It's everything's going digital. This is the last phase of everything going digital. Is a decentralized monetary unit that is internet native.
Yep.
And the reason it's important that it's actually Bitcoin is because just like Walmart competes with Amazon, and Amazon competes with every other online service, like DoorDash and Uber Eats and all
retailers,
that, is that competition, that decentralization of a market is what's key to the growth of the overall market.
Yeah.
Because if we only had Amazon could screw us.
Yep. And if something could go wrong at leadership and the company fails.
Bingo.
Yep.
That's why with the actual Bitcoin, it's ran on thousands and tens of thousands of computers that are independently verifying the transactions.
Yes.
So it is a machine of truth. And once you wrap your head around all of the value that's exchanged on the internet is going to go away from the dollar and into the Bitcoin.
Yep.
Because it is internet native.
Right.
And it's decentralized. So if you shop at Walmart and the federal government doesn't want you to shop at Walmart, they can block your credit card. Visa can block your credit card. MasterCard can block your credit card. Oh, we don't want you looking at those websites. You know, that's bad. Well, the internet can only thrive and grow if there's freedom on the internet.
Right.
And the ultimate freedom, because it's the ultimate representation of your time, is your money.
Good point.
And in a decentralized, monetary, online, native currency, that's where everything's going to move to on the internet. And then once it eats the internet, and as it's eating up all of the exchange of value on the internet, it's entering the real world at the same time.
Right. The physical. Yeah.
Right. Every employee I have, I actually pay them in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And they love it because they're like, hell yeah, all day long.
My boss is paying me in an appreciating asset. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And
that's pretty great.
And it's a private exchange.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I've actually bought cars with Bitcoin. It's such a revolution. That's why these clubs are so important.
Yeah.
Because we can save everyone in this area from the monetary nuclear war we're about to go through. Because you have the U.S. versus China, and China's partnered up with Russia, and all of that is about money.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about money. And this is why Bitcoin is so important, because, and that's why Trump is actually tying it into the federal government,
right,
because Bitcoin cannot be printed.
Right. They can't print more.
And through that restriction of not being able to print it, it will limit the government's ability to have a war.
Right. And manipulate the currency at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so if we want peace on earth, we need truth on earth. And truth on earth from a monetary unit is actual Bitcoin. And that's why we're here.
That's wonderful. Well, I'll tell you, it's been a great day here talking to you, talking to your colleagues, people who know their why, hearing the journey, hearing the stories, you know, because we're all where we are right now, and we all want to be in a certain place. And it starts with education, you know, being present in your local community. And that's the best part of what you've opened here. Now we're in Plano, we're in Dallas. You literally can walk in the door.
Yep.
And
come on down, folks.
Yeah. And find people that have been where you are, which is, if you're not, and I respect that a lot of the people watching now hopefully are well informed and get what we're doing here and why. But now there's availability here. There's a library across the hall. You know, we're building all kinds of things into this space to get rid of that fear, build the community, build the trust.
Yep.
That we can all benefit from. You know, we've thrown a lot of analogies around here. The rising tide raises all ships, but they're true. You know,
yep.
we can do a lot with the community. So Ben, I appreciate you taking the time to be here at this opening. We're all very excited about it, and to continue to share what you're doing. What's your next step after today, now that this place is open?
I'm leaving here and I'm going to Florida for a week, and the next club that we'll have a grand opening at is out in Las Vegas.
Terrific.
That's going to be fun.
Awesome.
And then we are launching a club right by Mar-a-Lago.
That's right.
I mean, literally a block away from Mar-a-Lago. So Trump and I are going to have a lot to talk about.
All right. A golf ball's drive away.
I don't care. As long as you sign them first.
Right, yeah. Put a signature on there and knock it over the fence. Awesome.
Yep.
Well, Ben, I appreciate your time and really enjoyed my time with you today.
Oh, this is awesome. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys.
All right. It's been great being here. Thank you again for joining. And of course, to go to the website and all the things that you're seeing in the show notes, join us there, get educated, invite your family, invite your friends, invite your community to your local crypto club and meet the fellas. And then, buy some Bitcoin. My goodness. If that message hasn't come through, then we definitely failed.
Yeah,
I think
we
we've done
failed
just
big
fine.
time.
Yeah. But it's been great being here. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Love you guys.
Hey, Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club members, are you ready to take your crypto game to the next level? Well, buckle up because we've got something huge for you. As a member of the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you're already part of the future of finance. But what if you could stack even more Bitcoin without waiting? That's right. We're talking about exclusive loans designed just for you. Through the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you can apply for a fast member-only loan. Use the cash to buy Bitcoin right now while the market's hot, and watch your stack grow as the revolution unfolds. It's simple. Call us, get approved, and turn that loan into Bitcoin. Pay it back on your terms while you HODL like a pro. Why wait for the moon when you can fuel the rocket yourself? This isn't just a loan, it's your ticket to owning more of the future. And because you're part of our tight-knit community, you get VIP access to rates and support outsiders can only dream of. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your phone and call or text 941-413-6920 to apply now and start stacking SATs today. The Bitcoin revolution waits for no one, especially not you. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where members don't just HODL, we build. See you on the blockchain.
Ever felt left out of the crypto craze? Not anymore. Welcome to Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where community meets opportunity. Our clubs are popping up nationwide, from Sarasota to Nashville, Boston to St. Louis. Join us and unlock a world of benefits. Access all clubs worldwide, earn through referrals, and dive into specialized crypto education. Need help buying crypto? We've got you covered, often with reduced fees. But wait, there's more. Enjoy perks like Bitcoin ATMs, silver purchases, and exclusive investment opportunities. Our state-of-the-art facilities offer podcast rooms, event spaces, and co-working areas. Stay informed with FGTV, our exclusive crypto news and education channel. Choose your membership, from day passes to individual or company plans. Individual members get access for themselves plus 2 guests, perfect for bringing friends or family. Companies can bring up to 15 employees or guests, fostering team growth and networking. Connect, learn, and grow with like-minded crypto enthusiasts. Ready to join the revolution? Visit BitcoinBenCryptoClub.com or call 562-526-0813 today. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, your gateway to crypto success.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
Ever felt left out of the crypto craze? Not anymore. Welcome to Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where community meets opportunity. Our clubs are popping up nationwide, from Sarasota to Nashville, Boston to St. Louis. Join us and unlock a world of benefits. Access all clubs worldwide, earn through referrals, and dive into specialized crypto education. Need help buying crypto? We've got you covered, often with reduced fees. But wait, there's more. Enjoy perks like Bitcoin ATMs, silver purchases, and exclusive investment opportunities. Our state-of-the-art facilities offer podcast rooms, event spaces, and co-working areas. Stay informed with FGTV, our exclusive crypto news and education channel. Choose your membership, from day passes to individual or company plans. Individual members get access for themselves plus 2 guests, perfect for bringing friends or family. Companies can bring up to 15 employees or guests, fostering team growth and networking. Connect, learn, and grow with like-minded crypto enthusiasts. Ready to join the revolution? Visit BitcoinBenCryptoClub.com or call 562-526-0813 today. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, your gateway to crypto success.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around $94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.